I'm Sue Crockett, the Executive Director of the Minnesota Center for Employee Ownership. And today I'm going to be speaking with Tiffany Safrey from Ulland Brothers, Incorporated, located in Cloquet, Minnesota, Virginia, Minnesota, and Albert Lea, Minnesota. Tiffany is the CFO of Ulland, and she's going to be telling us their story today of creating an ESOP and what that has meant to them as a company, to the employees, and to their community. So welcome, Tiffany. First, let's just start with you giving us a little bit of history about Ulland Brothers.
All right. Well, we are a highway heavy civil contractor. Like you said, we've got three kind of main office locations, and our primary work is done for public owners such as MnDOT, airports, the DNR, counties, municipalities, but we also do work for private owners. We own various aggregate resources around the area. We work on the Iron Range, do industrial site prep, environmental and recreational projects, kind of a wide array of projects, primarily roadway reconstruction.
And what year was the company founded? How long have you been in business?
That's kind of an interesting question. We have traced it back. We've actually done a lot of work, looking into the history of Ulland Brothers. It was started by Oscar and Palmer Ulland way back in 1920. And it was just a couple of brothers that began a woodcutting business. And it's kind of become, so much bigger and more than that. It was incorporated in 1954. And then the ESOP began in 2004.
What was the owner's motivation as far as selling to their employees? You become an ESOP, an employee stock ownership plan. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, in 2004, the company had kind of evolved into having employee owners that, privately held shares of stock within the company. And there were a number of those owners that were going to be retiring. And it was a fair portion of the stock that was held. And so in 2004, then, in order to help with that transition of those owners retiring, the ESOP was established.
And did it start out as just an increment of the business, or did they go 100% right away?
It did. In fact, it has not been a wholly owned ESOP until about 2 weeks ago. So yes, we just went 100% about 2 weeks ago. It started out, lower percentage, and then over the course of the last 15, 16 years has incrementally increased until it was about 75% ESOP owned for the last couple of years. And we made the decision after, doing several studies and things in the last couple of years to go ahead and make the offer to become 100% owned.
And what has that meant to the employees as far as what is your culture and engagement in the company being an ESOP?
I think the ESOP culture is really great. It gives the employees, more of a vested interest in the success of their business. It's not just a paycheck anymore that maybe isn't even dependent on the success of the company. You reap the benefits of your company's success, which I think makes you even more interested in trying to help with that success.
When you became an ESOP, one of the things that we always talk about is that, the engagement, the having a stake in the company or in your future. What is the turnover in your company? Do you notice that you're able to retain and attract employees better with having the ESOP in place?
I've only been here for about just under 4 years, and I took over for the CFO who was retiring. And I have to say, I've never worked anywhere else with this level of longevity of employees. The turnover is so low, and people, for the very vast majority, most of them, when they leave, it's because they're retiring. And I really do think that the ESOP culture has a lot to do with that. You are an employee owner and take so much pride in your work and your company, and you're just part of it. You're not working for the company, you are the company.
And it also creates some wealth equity for all workers in the company,
Absolutely.
not just the
Yes.
shareholders. And I think that's the beauty of it as well. So during the pandemic, companies that were employee owned fared better during the pandemic as far as keeping their doors open, keeping their employees. What was your experience?
It was almost seamless for us. We were also considered vital. Our job sites were not shut down because the government had decided that we needed to continue working. So the pandemic, we continued to work and thrive, thankfully, and we're able to bring all of our workers back and have a very, productive year.
Great. It's good to hear. Yeah. And so how do you feel that the fact that you are employee owned and you're in, northern Minnesota, southern Minnesota, more rural areas in the state, how do you feel that impacts the community and the economy in those areas?
Even though we're spread out, this company has such a family feel. And, we donate to the community. We give money to, support kids' sporting events. We give money down south. We give money to the Hormel Foundation, really trying to give back to the communities that we live in and make safe roads for and all of that sort of thing.
So do you have any new major projects that you're working on right now?
It looks like it's going to be another busy season, which is good. Down south in Albert Lea, we're starting milling and paving on County Road 84. And up here in Cloquet, on Monday, we're going to be starting on 14th Street. So people will see us out there waving, keeping everybody safe as they drive by the road construction. Kind of an interesting, we are working on the Glensheen Mansion. I don't know if you're familiar with the Glensheen Mansion. And we've been working on restoring the grounds and the retaining walls and the gardens at Glensheen. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, just recently we were awarded the 2022 Environmental Excellence Award from the Minnesota Erosion Control Association for some work that we did on Highway 23 south of Carlton. So I take a lot of pride in things like that. We take a lot of pride in our work, and as doing that, trying to consider the environment and having as little impact as you can.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So you said that you just went 100%. 2 weeks ago. Are you planning any celebrations, or how are you going to?
Well, we had our annual shareholder meeting at the beginning of April, where everyone that was an employee shareholder at that point outside of the ESOP was there. And so that was kind of our celebration kickoff to have everyone agree. And we talked about it and had some dinner. And so, that I'm sure we'll just continue to have more of talking about employee ownership, making sure everyone understands, that their involvement in the company, and that it's more, like I said, more than just a paycheck. Your retirement is tied in with the success of the company, and we've enjoyed a lot of success in the past. So,
well, I think you have a great story to tell, and I'm really appreciative that you let us know how it's been for Ulland and the employees and the community. Appreciate hearing all of that. Is there anything else you want to close with, as far as anyone listening to this who might be thinking about selling their business to an ESOP or an employee ownership option?
It's a fascinating structure, and it's really a way to have your employees own the business, and it's very unique. And I've learned a lot about it in the last 4 years and been very impressed.
Well, I appreciate your time, Tiffany, and thank you, and wish Ulland and you the best of luck.
Thank you.